End of train. Alright. Alright, your end of train, introduction. End of the train function with the head of the train device, receive the data for the rear of the train mount with the transmit with the receiver, the end of the train device functions, all allows the operator to gather pertinent system data, the ensure for the adequate notification for the train line break, the screen figure 45, allow for the operator to change the end of the train ID, ensure for the end of the train system communications. Just another screen, end of the train screen, operation soft key, position for the F2 for the end of the train main operating screw. The 0,000 with the figure 33, 35, and 37 of the display, 2100, 0, figure 45 of the railroad operating position with the operator to activate the key and the brief description operation is followed. Press the key position of the F3 with the modified ID code with the display with the 2101, figure 47, 46 of the key. These three keys are available on the screen. Note, modified ID screen is off key if not available. The end of the train is armed with the locomotive in motion of the display with the screen and the key if not available. The auxiliary display. Key position F2 backspace allow the removal of the one digit per press of the entire code. Key position 57 acceptable. Record notify the control system on the new end of the train ID code. Screen will automatically return to the end of the train setup screen 2100. Pressing the key position F8 will cancel the return of the operator at the end of the train setup screen 2100 without the train at the end of the train ID code. All the numeric keys 0 through 9 are active and are at the end of the train ID number. Key position of the F5 of the communication test will present it depending on the system status. This key is not available on auxiliary display. The key position F6 for the request to disarm will be visible only when the system is armed will allow the operator to disarm the two-way end of the train. Press the key will display with the 2102 for the key available if the train is followed with the key position F7. Disarm two-way will cover the system and disarm the key position F8 will return with the operator to the screen without disarming the system. 4 key position F7 the arm two-way with the visual end of the train of the arm now with the NT some of the arm end of the train device. Key position F8 exact will return the operator to the main operating screen 1000 the note with the communication and the drive restrict with the lead locomotive only on the trailing locomotive at the end of the train. Systematically function staff at information emergency brake arrow disabled. Operating procedure. On power up at the end of the train device, head of the end of the head of the train device, end of the train code. Do not match. Press F3. Modify ID code and for the correct end of the train ID figure 45. Perform the communication functions as a system of the pressing F5 of the communication figure 47. End of the train entered in command communication test pressed. Alright, your end of the test. Once the test has been passed, the crew member to press for the test button at the end of the train. The test passes for the soft key of 7 and arm 2-way will appear with the figure 48 with the end of the train system will press for the arm 2-way with the figure 48 with the 5 seconds with the F7 key disappear with the F6 request this arm appear with the figure 48. Note, pressing the end of the train emergency brake tackle switch in item 13 figure 5 of the control council initiate the emergency application cover the end of the train to vent with the brake pipe the end of the train follow the railroad rules regulation operating of the switch end of the train device will vent with the brake pipe to respond with the emergency brake application trigger with the following condition. Automatic brake handle item 12 with the figure 5 to move the emergency. 2 emergency brake valve on the crew member to council operator. 3 the train emergency. 4 the internal electronic air brake valve will cover the emergency brake application. That shows your inner train setups ready for operation. Alright, your distributed power system summary. Note the following information is a summary in nature. Refer to the local Loccontrol LEB system operational manual for the detailed system operation information. Note the auto engine startup and stop system is disabled. The distributed power and is active. Alright, introduction. Distributed power control system is integrated with the electronic air brake for the consolidated control architecture system designed to provide the synchronizing automatic independent control of the control locomotive lead position of the remote located in the train with a unit use up to 6 remote configure the controls and the system provide with the control remote rewarded units of command signal to transmit with the radio link from the lead locomotive. The operation of the system is such that the several trains equipped with the distributed power can operate with the same radio frequency with the radio range for each of the other without interference. The smart screen display for the operator interface the distributed power and in convention with the train operating with the distributed power. All locomotives are controlled with the operating cab lead unit. The controls are connected to the electrical train lines controlled with the applied with the voltage respect the locomotive control function and train with the operating with the distributed power system, the division of locomotive power and the placement of the locomotive at the front and other position with the train make up this available full potential locomotive power. However, there is no train between the separated unit with the distributed power system employed with the digital control. Utilize the railroad equipment entry link to provide precise timing necessary coordinated operation over the lead and remote locomotives. The distributed power system comprises 6 modules: the protocol transfer, the integrated processor module, the radio module, the electro-pneumatic control unit, the electronic brake valve. These modules operate with the conjunction of the concentrated input-output with the smart screen display. No interface included: the distributed power initiation lead and remote setup until the unit and brake pipe continuity leak testing, train check of the lead and remote consists control, independent control of the remote consists of the remote consists of the information viewing and unlinking the unit's distributed power termination. Alright, operation. As stated in the introduction section, the distributed power system provides synchronizing asynchronous control, monitoring, dynamic braking, and air brake with the multiple remote locomotive can shift with a single train. Only one locomotive within each of the lead and remote needed to equip with the integrated distributed power system. In addition, with the command with the pass from the lead and remote unit, the consists information is passed forward with the remote units for the operator display. For the synchronous control, the operator with the normal master control of the independent automatic brake handle lead with the command with the propulsion air brake system. All locomotive of the lead consists distributed power system in the lead unit with the receive the command with the V with the lead locomotive with the train line with the communication line with the electronic air braking. This command with the relayed V with the radio link with the remote lead unit with the each for the remote consists of the train. Upon the receive of the C with the command lead unit each for the remote interpretive of the radio message press with the command with the train line electronic air braking. A synchronous control, independent control of the remote unit with the operator with the normal master control, independent automatic brake valve handle, distributed power system with smart screen display. Throughout the smart screen display, the operator may choose to play for the remote units for the 2 operating groups, the front and back. The front group will be under the synchronized control of the back group, independently controlled. Alright, traction, the dynamic brake for the operator with the V with the distributed power system screen with, for example, the brake for the exhibit the lead, consider the motor, and can exhibit the remote, consider the safety interlock for the do not allow the traction front of the train with the braking with the rear and left with the reverser handle is in the reverse position. Alright, note that the CCA control system receive the remote serial method distributed power system. The CCA will eliminate the electronic air brake subscreen with the disable the integrated alert functions of the remote unit. Operating procedure. Note when the distributed power operates for the engine run circuit breaker must be set with the manual on lead locomotive each of the remote if the remote consists is not loaded. Once the train has been made up properly, the distributed power system will leave the remote until it has been up and pressing the key position F6 for the distributed power main operating screen with 0,000 figure 33 with the display with the screen 2300 figure 49 with the human machine interface with the display screen 2310 figure 50 with the DP main screen main menu screen with the operator displayed LOD and from the DP menu screen with the F5 of the operating screen with the display with the 2301 figure 51. Activate keys and brief description operating as follows. The press the key 8 with the remote control with U with the screen will display screen 2301 figure 52. Pressing key position 8 with the control menu will display 2300 for figure 49. The keys are available on this screen. Now refer to figure 49 through 52 for the sample of the distributed power menu screen information with the press of the key position F1 move to the front, reassign with the next, consider the back group with the front of the group with the one press key will become inactive after 3 seconds. B. Pressing the key position F2 to move back, reassign with the next, consider for the front group back for the group with the ones press for this key will be inactive within 3 seconds. Press the key position F3 for the traction in order to back up the traction after F4 soft key executed press. Note when either F3 or F5 soft key F4 becomes executed, F8 becomes cancelled, and all other soft keys will disappear in figure 53. After pressing F1 and F2, all the soft keys will return to their normal state. Pressing the key position F4 idle with the back group of the idle with the key position F8 will order the back group over the dynamic brake over the after F4 with the soft key execute with this press the first note with the step C with the note with the F3, F4, F5 soft key matrix C the line table assume the lead unit with the running shortly hold lead press the key position F6 with the more traction more brake depending on whether the back group of traction over the and will increase the back group with the traction dynamic braking 1 by 1 throttle the brake position step press the key position F7 less traction less brake depending on whether the back group is traction or brake mode. Reduce the back group traction or dynamic braking by 1 throttle brake position step. Press the key F8 with the exit will go to screen 2302 for the figure 53 on the human machine interface screens. This will appear with only the locomotive to stop while the brakes of the brake charge is greater than 25. Distributed power online. traction motors. Distributed power operation screen 2300 0, a human interface. This shows the distributed power menu section 2310. Then you have your distributed power operation half screen LOD. Distributed operation remote screen 2301, a human machine interface. Alright, figure 53 DP operation menu, exit cancel screen 2302, F3, F4, F3 soft keys, stable. Alright, your slow speed distributed power activity. Distributed power slow speed operation, combined power handle should be set at notch 1. The operator does not need the encrypted setting beyond the notch 1 other than setting with the combined power handle. The distributed power slow speed with the function and identical to non-distributed power slow speed described in the speed control section of this manual. Alright, your slow speed control introduction. Slow speed control function figure 54 allow the operator to define speed control with the locomotive operation loading and unloading. Simple to replace that with the hump control feature. The note that this function is not available to the auxiliary display with the locomotive setup with the trail speed control. Prohibited conditions do not allow. Figure 5.8 F8 is to exit will appear on the message. They show the speed control menu control. Operation soft key position F6 over the speed control main operating screen with 0,000 with the figure 35 and 33 and 35 with the display 1300 figure 54 with the railroad operating procedure of this operation. Active the key with the brief description of operation as followed. Press the key F8 with the exit will return the operator to main operating screen. Press the key F6 will slow speed with the display with the 1320 figure 55 with 11 keys are available on the screen as follows. Slow speed is soft key is not available to look of the moving faster than 50 miles an hour. On power up and slow speed, the plug mode functions will offer the target speed setting point will not be default with up to 5 miles an hour. It shows your slow speed control screen 3200. Alright, note the speed error gave the track with the actual prevent and locomotive with the miles per hour with again for the miles per hour with the set miles per hour with the function on with the gauge to disappear with the function of the alpha. The speed error gauge will read the 0 with the no bar graph of the locomotive is not currently loading. Key position F1 slow speed off. Order locomotive control system turn off the slow speed function off. The toggle switch indicator that will go. The off of the traffic indicator light will go out. The key 1 will change to read the speed slow speed on. Key position F2 plug-in mode on with the other while the other mode order locomotive with the control system will plug mode function on. The toggle switch indicator that will go on. The graphic indicator light will come on. Key F1 will change to the plug mode off. Then refer to the plug load heading of the section of the further information of the using this function. Note that key position F2 with the plug on mode on will only visibility if the speed is 1.2 miles an hour. Key position F3 up arrow with the increase the target speed by 1 unit resolution per press. The note the 1 resolution depends on the set of the target speed with the unit resolution of the 100th of the mile per hour. The target speed between 10th of a mile and 40.99 miles an hour. The result of the 10th of the mile per hour. The target speed is between 5 and 10 miles an hour. Keep position for 50 F4 current speed will order the slow speed function for the current locomotive speed with the key with the target speed set point. Key position F8 with the down arrow with the cover will decrease the target speed by 1 and with the resolution per press. Note using the resolution depends on the target speed of the unit. The resolution will be 100 of the mile per hour target speed with between 10th and a tenth of short of 5 miles an hour. The unit resolution of the 10th mile an hour target speed is between 5 miles an hour and 10 miles an hour. Key position F8 with the exit with the bring the screen with the digital 1322 on the message for the slow speed control will be turned off of the screen. The is exited. Are you sure? Will display and 2 keys are available. Yes, or order the control system to turn the slow speed and plug mode off. Return the operating of the main operating screen 0,000 figure 58. Return to the operator screen of 1320 and the speed control still on. Key position 4 enter the new target display the slow speed control change figure 56 with the 3221 set the keys that active on the screen as follow. The key 4 F4 decimal place will enter the decimal point with the need with the new target speed. Key position F6 black backspace will remove that 1 digit of the bit purple press for the enter for the target speed with the value with the key position F7 and F7 will record and notify the control system of the new targeted speed valve. Screen will automatically return the slow speed setup screen 3220 to 0. The key position F8 with the cancel the return operator slow speed setup screen with the 1320 without the change with the target speed valve with numerical valves will allow the operator to enter the number of the chain with the target speed value. Pressing the key position F, the power reduction will display the 1310 with the figure 57. The 7 keys are available over the screen as follows. Note on the power up, the power reduction mode function will be nice power percentage. Set point will be default with A2 at 100%. Key position F1 reduction on will go order the locomotive control system. The power reduction and function on. The toggle switch indicator will go on, and the graphic light indicator will go on. Key F1 will change the read reduction off. Alright, this is your slow speed control changing system. Alright, key F5 of the up arrow will increase the down power with the percent by 5% per breath. The key disappears at 100%. Key position F6 of the down arrow will increase the down power to 5% to 5 per press, with the key disappears at 0%. Key position F8 exit will bring up the 1310 1 figure of FD8, with which with the message manual power reduction will be turned off the screen. Will be exited. Sure, it will display the two keys that are available. Yes, order the control system, turn power reduction off the mode of the multiple unit, return the operator to the main control operating screen. 0,000 with cancel, return the operator screen. 1310 manual power reduction still on. Alright, this is your manual power reduction screen. Slower speed control, manual power reduction exit screen. Alright, your plug loading. Plug loading is a mode of the operation with the reverse handle display for the position opposite with the intent with the direction of the locomotive. The combined power handle display for the power. Now, for the technique of the direct required operating the downgrade locomotive, the must hold back of the train to limit speed. The function that typically used while the cars on the train are being loaded. For plug load functioning, light train load defined as one or more power to locomotive, 15 or fewer empty cars per locomotive. Note if the train load is not light with the applicable railroad operating procedure set for this operation. Warning: monitor locomotive direction. Travel closely during a plug loading the locomotive with a reach of 0% speed of the shove of the drift the opposite direction. Immediately return the combined power to the idle. To reduce may result in the sustained motion in the wrong direction, which could result in personal injury and equipment damage. Using the following procedure: plug loading. If the train is light with the defined above the isolated lead locomotive in the consider the play for the reverse handle on the opposite position in the direction of the desired motion. On screen 1320 0 with the figure 55, press the key position F1 slow speed on, key position F2 plug mode on. Turn both the slow speed and the plug load on. Status will indicate with the switch for the LED above each for the position. Play with the combined power handle. Notch 1 for the train load is set on to relieve the independent brake. Wait for the speed stabilizer. If and after a few seconds the speed has not stabilized, more slowing force is needed to increase power. Move the combined power handle to the higher throttle position. Monitor the locomotive speed closely. Train load may need to be set with a medium heavy as the cars are train loaded. Press the key position F2, the plug of the mode off on screen 1320 0 with the plug loading off. The key position F1 slow speed off. 1320 0 speed control menu to turn slow speed control off. Press the key position F8 to exit the screen 1300 0 figure 44 in the speed control menu. Alright, switches.